Founders Institute headquarters. All right, guys, good evening and welcome once again. So today's session was supposed to be led by our Australian colleague, Marion, but I got a call from her earlier today saying, "G'day, Fazzo, got a bit of a problem. Could you take on my presentation tonight?" I'm like, okay. So that's why we've got produced by Marion Willits, and I'll be producing it. So today's topic is vision and validation. So how many guys have a vision for a company? And Isaac, you have 2 visions, as I here today? No. And how many of you have tested a vision with a product validation? Anyone? Remy? Heidi? Perfect.
Just the ID.
Yeah. So what we're going to do today is just focus on something called vision, vivid vision. Have you guys heard of it? No? Okay, so it's from an author called Cameron Herold, who also wrote a book called Meeting Sucks. So I'll recommend you read it, but let's go into this. All the non-Norwegians in the crowd, put your hands up. All right. I guess you're all familiar with Kon-Tiki. Preben, same.
I was looking at the 2 Herald. I am Norwegian.
Yes. So 2 Herald in 1947 crossed from South America to the Polynesian Islands. And he wanted to prove something, and he had a vision to do this. Along the way, he enrolled 5 other people to share his vision. Now, how do you sell a vision telling someone, we're going to go from South America, Polynesian Islands? There's a thin chance we might not make it, but if we do, that'll be awesome. So one of the first guys he recruited was a Swedish writer, and the rest followed. And he managed to carry through his vision, defining the odds, and he actually made it. So the important part of this is his vision was very crazy. And to make this vision possible, he had to approach a lot of people who said, "Thor, I don't know how they do it in Norway, but you're really crazy. Please go." But he managed to secure some private loans and get equipment from the US Army, and he accomplished his vision along with a successful, effective team. So we're just going to cut straight to vision before we get to vivid vision. So when you are communicating or building a vision, it needs to connect to other people so you can bring other people on board. If people know where you're going, what purpose you're serving, the why, what, and how, it helps. The investors need to know your vision is legitimate, feasible, and the clearer you communicate your vision, the better. And it comes to partners, collaborators. Everyone wants to see the bigger picture. Now, how to create the bigger picture? This is one of the books I recommend. It's from Cameron Herold, released earlier this year. It's 170 pages. I finished it in 2.5 hours. It's very addictive. And once I started reading it, getting to chapter 3, I was like, I need to start implementing this straight away. It's that addictive. So grab a photo of it, and I definitely recommend you go through this book. It'll help you understand where you're going 3 years from now. So I'm going to go more into this now. So how many people have done a standard mission statement when you get in a room and start writing stuff? And then you come with some cool words. We need authenticity. We need to be awesome. And you come with another cliche, quality, blah, blah, blah. And everyone sits in the room, and it doesn't really anchor deep within you. You just have some really cool mission statements, vision statements. And it sounds cool on paper, but it doesn't really connect to you. 6 months later, you still have the vision, but you do not know where exactly you're going. Because you're going from A to Z, but you don't know which road you're taking. So what Vivid Vision does is, let me go through this. So it's basically, what he does is, he goes to Google Doc, or pen and paper in the garden, wherever he needs to. he writes where his company needs to be in 3 years. And why he does 3 years? Because people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, and they underestimate what they can do in 3 years. And since we're working with Generation Y, setting a 5-year goal or 10-year goal, it's really hard because the loyalty these days is for 6 months, and if they can't see success or the goals being ticked off, they move to another company. So that's why focus is on a 3-year goal. So how this works is you set where your company is going to be in 3 years, and you write down how the media is going to talk about you, how many employees you're going to have, how many clients you're going to have, how much your net promoter score will be for employees, for your customers, your revenue, and your net profit. You want to see it from 3 years from now. And from that point, you start reverse engineering your company. Has anyone tried similar steps in designing the vision yet? Envisioning 3 years from ahead. So this is a very good example to start implementing. So what I want you to do is just, since we're at the start, we're not going to go too much deep into talking right now. For 7 minutes, I just need you to write down your vision. For example, Heidi, where would you like to see your company in 3 years? Same with Miguel. Faraaz, same with your construction. Where would you want to see 3 years? Replacing Obus? Yeah, so write down financially where you want to be in terms of size, employee, scalability. So start putting it to paper, and I'll touch back to you in a few, 5-6 minutes. And this can be any vision you have.